For question 3, I want you to imagine that you have a friend named Freddie, and Freddie has a credit card from All Star Credit Cards. Now, the various information is given on the balance sheet. His credit limit is $8,000. His daily automatic banking machine cash advance limit is $500. The interest rate is 18.2%. That's going to be a good number for us to know. He has no annual fee. He has a grace period of 21 days. He has a total of 1 card issued. And every month his minimum payment will be 3% of the balance or $10, whichever is greater. Okay, well, let's proceed with the question. The question says that the statement is issued to Freddie on the 5th of each month. We want to know on what date will the payment be due. Well, we see that he's got a grace period of 21 days. So since his grace period is 21 days and the statement is issued on the 5th, he doesn't have to actually pay until the 26th of the month. Okay, the next question says that on July's statement, Freddie has a balance of $67.84. We'd like to know his minimum payment. Well, we refer back to his credit card statement, which says that his minimum payment is the greater of $10 or 3% of the balance. What we're going to do is figure out 3% of his outstanding balance and see if that's greater or less than $10, and then we'll make our decision from there. So, $67.84 outstanding times 3% is equal to $2.04. Since he has to pay the greater of $10 or $2.04, he clearly has to pay $10. Since 204 is less than 10, therefore Freddie owes the $10 minimum. Alright, well, we move on to the next statement, which says that on August's statement, Freddie has a balance of $897.33, and we'd like to determine his minimum payment. So, we figure out 3% of $897.33, which is $26.92. Since $26.92 is definitely greater than $10, he owes $26.92 as his minimum payment for that month. Next question says it takes 5 days to process his payment, so what's the latest date that Freddie can pay August's bill and not be overdue? This is where people sometimes run into trouble. Just because he makes his payment on the 26th doesn't mean that they receive his payment on the 26th. So he should subtract 5 days from the 26th, which brings him to the 21st, and therefore he should pay his bill by the 21st, give them 5 days to process it, which gets them the money by the 26th, so he's within the 21-day grace period. Question E says that interest is calculated and compounded daily, so they'd like to know the daily interest rate. Well, if we go back to our credit card statement, we see that the annual interest rate is 18.2%. Since it's compounded daily, we're going to evaluate 0.182 divided by 365, which is approximately 0.000498863, and we can say his daily interest rate is approximately 0.049863%. Last but not least is a calculation question. We suppose that at the start of October, Freddie had a zero balance on his credit card. On October 20th, he goes out and makes a purchase of $99.99. This purchase showed up naturally on his November bill, the one he got on November 5th. Unfortunately for Freddie, rather than pay the bill on time, he paid it 4 days after the due date. We'd like to know how much Freddie had to pay and how much of that was interest. Well, we flip to the next page. We know that the November bill is due on November 26th because he gets it on the 5th. He has a 21-day grace period. Since Freddie was 4 days late, therefore he must have paid it on the 30th. Okay? Well, what they do then, since the purchase was on October 20th, they figure out how many days there were between the date of purchase and the date of payment. Between October 20th and November 30th, we have to figure out how many days there are. There are exactly 41 days. Okay, now we do another compound interest question. His final amount is unknown. His purchase amount was 99.99. His little letter I is 0.182 divided by 365, which is 0.000498863. And the exponent will be 41. When we're doing daily compounding, the exponent is the number of days. So our capital letter A is P times 1 plus I to the n, which is 99.99 times 1.000498863 raised to the exponent 41. We evaluate our exponent first, and we see that his final payment had to be $102.05. So Freddie had to pay $102.05. Part of the question asked, what is the interest that he had to pay? Well, his original purchase was $99.99. So we subtract that from $102.05, and we realize that he had to pay an interest of $2.06.